Things have been pretty quiet on the G4 front. Froskurinn hasn't made any ridiculous statements. Adam Cesspool stopped attacking critics. No other hosts have caused a controversy, and G4's YouTube channel was still getting the mediocre views it's been getting for months. But they decided to put out a post canceling shows and saying that they were going through a big restructure that I don't think is going to save any of their dying channels. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or supporting the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I initially saw this on Twitter. They decided to put out this tweet saying, "What? G4 is evolving. Here's the patch notes." And this post is actually pretty short. It's not that long, but they're announcing that they're doing this major restructure. They're canceling some shows. They're trying to change up the way that they're putting out content. Do I think that it's going to save them? No. At this point, I think after the Froskurinn controversy, they have definitely damaged their reputation, and a lot of people still view them as just a big giant joke. But they put out this post that says, "We're all in this together. When G4 relaunched, we made a commitment to building this network with our audience and a try-and-see approach to putting awesome content everywhere you watch." I know when G4 decided to relaunch, a lot of people were very excited. A lot of people were very hopeful that they'd create the content they did many years ago. But after the relaunch, we saw the types of hosts they were choosing, the types of content that they were making, and the types of messaging they were pushing into their content, and overall it just ended up being very mediocre. They didn't get as much attention as they were hoping. A lot of people stopped watching them very quickly, and now all of their channels are dying. And with the Froskurinn controversy, that definitely didn't help them and their reputation. It says, "We saw how wild everyone went when we finally brought Scott the Woz to G4 and heard your calls for cameos, and today that means doing some RE5 style inventory management." I do think that it's pretty funny the way that they're trying to sound like, "Oh hey, we're all gamers here, this is a gaming network, look at all the gaming references we can make." It is charming in a way, because whoever wrote this did actually put a little bit of thought into it. But it says, "We've been busy behind the scenes optimizing each G4 platform, and these changes are a direct reflection of that work. We're very excited to unveil this new look in collaboration with our friends at YouTube, and believe this revamped channel curation will make finding G4 content on the platform easier." And I will show you all what they decided to do in a minute, but it says, "Here are some adjustments you may notice over the coming weeks on G4's YouTube channels and live streams." In this whole post, they want to make it seem like, oh, we're listening to our audience, and it's super positive, yet it's not. They're doing this because they're watching their content fail in real time, and they know they've got tons of people to pay, and they're not making any money. So the post says they want to do more tournaments and esports and have more partnerships between their shows. And while I think that these are good things and positive things, it might be a little bit too late for them. So when you go to YouTube and you search G4TV, the 500,000 subscriber YouTube channel the G4 used to have isn't G4 anymore. They decided to switch the names. So the G4 YouTube channel that has almost 500k subs was changed to XPlay, and the XPlay channel with only 100,000 subscribers was changed to G4. And a lot of people think that maybe this is so people stop unsubscribing from it because they still are slowly but surely bleeding subscribers subscribers from this 500,000 subscribed account. So a lot of people think now that it doesn't say G4 anymore, people will just see, oh, it's an X-Play channel. I'll stay subscribed to an X-Play channel, because right now a lot of people are still thinking about the G4 Froskurinn controversy. I think that the way that they did this is pretty interesting, but either way, I highly doubt that it's going to save their channel, because if you look at these views, they are very, very bad for a channel with 500,000 subscribers. I'm not saying that these views are terrible for everyone. Don't get me wrong. If I pulled in these views, I'd be more than happy with them. And in some cases, I do pull in more views than this 500,000 subscriber channel. But after only a day, one of their newest reviews has only 15,000 views. Their next one over, that's Speedrun the News, has 4,000 views, 18,000 views, 15,000 views, in some cases 2,000 views, talking about the new Pokemon and new Call of Duty news. This is pretty freaking terrible for a channel of this size, especially when you take into consideration that they only relaunched a couple of months ago. So you'd think right now they'd have a ton of viewers, a ton of attention on them. Anyone with nostalgia would be watching their content, and they'd also be getting a new audience, people that didn't know what G4 and X-Play were in the past. A few months ago when G4 came back, they came out guns blazing and they ran out of ammunition too quickly. They should have launched with 2 shows and grown from that very slowly and added new shows here and new shows there and new hosts, but instead they instantly pushed tons of new content and shows and didn't make it anywhere. They had multiple YouTube channels, some they streamed on, some they didn't. They'd re-upload VODs to one. It's an absolute mess. I know if I was interested in G4 at all, I would be like, there are 4 different YouTube channels, there's a Twitch channel, there's tons of different accounts on Twitter. I mean, it is an absolute mess, and I feel like they didn't think enough about how they were going to structure this whole platform that they wanted to create. And if we go on over to the social blade for G4, which is now the X-Play YouTube channel, yesterday, when they decided to do all of these changes, they wiped away almost 1 million views off of their channel. We do not know what content they decided to delete. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't see anything specific that they would have deleted, but they deleted 826,000 views off of this channel. Seeing numbers in the red for X-Play and for G4 isn't very surprising at this point, because I'm sure you all remember how many subscribers they lost only in January. This was an article from January. G4 loses thousands of subscribers following X-Play host Indiana Black's sexism in gaming rant. And of course, this did definitely damage their reputation. A lot of people were talking about this. They had, I believe, at the end, 10,000 people unsubscribe from their channels. Their viewership on Twitch has been mediocre. Do I think that G4 is going to go anywhere at this point? No. I think that they are still dying, and I do not think that they are going to be revived. I know I personally wouldn't give them another chance. I was initially pretty interested in this relaunch. I was like, okay, maybe they'll actually do something good and exciting. They'll put out high quality content that people actually want to watch, and instead they're sitting over there making reviews for games that came out 5 and 6 years ago, defending developers that people are very hesitant to support now. I know that they've put out reviews of games like Mass Effect Andromeda. In games like Anthem, no one wants to listen to reviews about those games now. They're not hitting the right topics. Their hosts are very mediocre. The content that they're putting out is just overall bad. And I do not think that they can come back from the hole they dug themselves into. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.